Okay, what we've got here is a 55 plate Volkswagen TDI, and we're going to try to give it an oil change. Not something I've done on a diesel before, but I've done plenty of petrol engines. Okay, the ramps are going to be too steep to get a Volkswagen Golf up. So what I've done is got hold of a builder's plank, which is something you can probably get off Gumtree, sawn it up. So I'm hoping that with that we're going to be able to get the car up on the ramps. Right, now what I like to do as well is just put something under the back wheels. Give yourself a chance. And we're all chopped up. Now all we've got to do is see what it's like underneath. So we go underneath and see what we find under here. Now obviously there's an under tray which has got to come off, presumably fitted with special German screws which you can only get off if you use a special expensive part. All we need to do is find the right size hexagon head and see if we can quickly get this under tray off. So give yourself something to lie down on. I've got a nice pink blanket here. Obviously if you've got a different colour blanket it'd be just as acceptable. We dive down under the car. I think I've decided it's a 3mm hexagon head, so we'll give that a go straight away. Okay, correction. It is actually a star head, not a hexagon head. So get that in there and give that a turn. That comes off quite nicely. This is a case of finding out as we go along. Piece of plastic. Quite straightforward really. The only thing to watch out for obviously is when the thing lets go you get a face full of crud. So out comes this tray. All sorts of bits and pieces. And what we got here, some kind of piece of kit somebody's dropped in there. We'll deal with that in a minute. And what I did notice was that the screws at the back here are slightly different, so they come out at the back of the tray. They're bigger and chunkier and metal rather than plastic. Right, so the next other good idea is to put your rubber gloves on before we get underneath here and start releasing any oil. So latex gloves are must. Let's see what's under here now. The first thing to do is find the drain plug, which looks to be that thing there. Right, so that plug apparently takes a 19mm socket. Yeah, that seems to go on there alright. So what we're going to do now is get the bucket or some kind of tray underneath here, release this and let the oil drain safely away into the basin. and stand by, because this stuff can be pretty hot and come out quite quick. So we can leave that to drain and come out from underneath here. There's the plug. Right, while that's draining, this is the plug that's come out. It looks like an original part. It's got a nice copper washer on it, and just looks the part. This is the one supplied by GFS, which is only £1, admittedly. It's got a steel washer, and basically it's a thing that just goes in a hole. So rather than use the new one, I'm going to give this a bit more of a clean, and I think we'll put that one back in. Okay, while that's draining, we'll have a look and see if we can find the oil filter. I'm not quite sure where that is. This thing here would be the fuel filter, I guess. Fuel pump, something. Let's have a look what's underneath here. See what's under here. Right. Now we're looking for an oil filter. What's this thing? This looks suspiciously like it could be it. Man Himmel. I figure that's a German word for something. Actually, that man. Does it say man? That rings a bell. Filter we've got. Right. Now, unusually for me, I've actually got something that does actually fit, a massive ring socket that actually would go on there. Now we should be able to give that a turn and get this thing open. I'm hoping it is actually the oil filter, so we'll see in a second or two. Okay, so this is just turning now. Unfortunately the ratchet's busted on the kit, but that's... And now I still don't know if this is the oil filter, but it feels as if it could be. Yep. So that is dripping with very black oil. This calls for putting the camera down while we extract this. Right. So there's the old filter, the new one, and what we have to do is remove this O-ring, which is this thing here, and put the fresh one in. Obviously it's a thing, it's not very easy to film while we're doing this, so I'll remove that ring and replace it with the fresh one out of the box. Now I guess it wouldn't do any harm to just give that a little bit of a clean, so that when the O-ring sits back on there it's a nice proper fit. So the filter has been pushed back in properly, won't go in any further. It's rotating. We put the new O-ring on that end and this end, so that goes back in there, and we'll hand tighten it. It does have a torque setting which you probably should follow, so that it's not so hard to get off. I'll just probably tighten it to what I think. Okay, so that's finished draining. Put the plug back in, and you don't want to over tighten these, but just just enough so it feels tight. Okay, so we put all that back together. Now we're going to take the car off the ramps and refill the oil. There's the black stuff we've got out of there. Get the car back down off these ramps by pushing it. Obviously you don't want to be trying to start the engine up because there's no oil in there. Right, we're going to refill the vehicle with oil. This is a PD engine we've got here, and you're supposed to use an oil which is 505.01, which this clearly is. Now I don't know anything about VTEC oil, it could be rubbish for all I know, but we're going to give it a try anyway. Obviously the way to pour the oil in is to use a funnel that don't cost much and saves cleaning all that mess up as you lash it around the top of the engine cover there. Okay, well, seems to be alright. Just hope this has helped some of you. It's not that difficult to change your own oil, as you can see, and thanks very much for watching. Cheers.